Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
It's a disaster movie and it's a
Disaster.
adventure movie.
It's not a disaster movie. It's a
Demise.
Natural disaster.
it's kind of coming of age. It's not really like coming of age is usually typically like, oh, you're a young person and you're becoming an adult. It's more of a coming of age in the sense of you're meeting different people and you're learning and growing from those experiences.
No,
and you're also affecting them too.
The disaster side is he was never really happy.
I don't know.
Like what he said is happiness is only real when it's shared.
Yeah, but
he felt alone. He walked away from the girl that could have been
the 16-year-old. Stop it. They added in, right? I don't know if they added it
to tell that story like it was.
Okay.
It's a sad demise. Like he never he felt like he was. This isn't good enough. This isn't good enough. I gotta get to this next thing. I need a new adventure. This isn't good enough.
But he also mentioned during the movie that, hey, maybe I do this experience, I come back, and I write a book about it. I think he did want to add something to the world, so it wasn't strictly like, let's go die in the woods somewhere. It wasn't that.
I agree.
I don't think. Even for the real guy, I don't think it's that.
I agree. I mean, it's awesome in one way, and then another way, it's sad. Like, it is a disaster to me in another way.
Well, in the real life thing, I don't think he meant to die out. Like, he wasn't trying to die out there. I think
I know that
he fucked up somehow, and
yeah, that's why it's a disaster. What do you think a disaster means?
Oh, come on! I'm talking about genres of movies versus like someone fucks up, right? He writes it in his journal that he fucked up. In real life, I believe, like his real life journal, he says he fucks up, and then shit goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a disaster movie in the sense of like the genre of disaster movie, like Day After Tomorrow or some shit like that.
No, not like Apocalypse, or not even like the movie we watched yesterday.
To me, that's a disaster movie, man. This is what you watched yesterday. Right. Society of the Snow. Like, to me, that's a disaster movie. This is more of a movie about existentialism, but fuck, I guess I haven't watched it in so long. It just feels like it looks hokey as shit. I'm gonna blame Sean Penn for this, by the way. That's where I'm at. Go ahead. Anyone? Hello? Anyone?
Like, I kind of think like he shouldn't have gone on a trip.
But it was like, all right, the movie made it existential. The real life story was also probably existential. If I had to guess, but a lot less.
You hear me?
Magical journey shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like in this movie, he runs into like hippies and shit that give him like life lessons, and he keeps going. Right. In real life, is probably like, some dude tried to blow him. He ran into the wrong crowd or whatever the fuck, and he ended up there. I'm just saying, like, there was
they had to do some deep quotes. I'm like, I don't think we pulled those out of his hat like in real life.
When I hitchhiked, the only thing that happened to me was guys tried to rob me. S-
I'm sure there was something. Yeah. As far as the real story, I'm sure there's something going on
Yeah,
there that they're just leaving out.
right. Why'd you pick him up and take him back to your house, you 80-year-old man?
Because the dude everywhere the dude went in the movie, he was adding something to the people he met. Right? He would add some type of benefit from experience with them. They even like flash through it at the end of the movie, right?
Right.
The hippie people, even the girl, the singer girl, the old man,
Right.
everyone he ran into, like he added something to them. Probably even Vince Vaughn, the gangster corn collector guy. Like what is that?
He was illegally farming.
I got it. Whatever he was doing.
Jig's up, guys. We got to shut down for a while.
Fuck, man. I think standards have changed, though. For me personally, as a film, I think standards changed because I think the directing was so ass cheeks. The style of it, the some of the shots in here were garbage, man. He did like Zack Snyder slow motion, but it was like 20 frames per second, man. Instead of Zack Snyder's 260 frames per second, like super slow motion, like super HD detail, it's like 30 frames per second, looking terrible, but also slow motion too. And it's like, God, that looks fucking awful.
Do you see
bad.
that point where there was like 50 cuts in less than 30 seconds?
Which part?
Yeah, when the guy went up the mountain, right? Like he's like, oh, he's almost at the top. Like he just started walking all the way up there.
They had like sweat mist fucking slow motions. Like that, like think of a boxer getting punched in the face and you see like his sweat like mist in the air. They had like cuts like that. And I'm just like, oh my god.
When he was
God, that's awful.
when he was
that looks terrible.
when he was walking around Skid Row, they did like 50 cuts.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like that. I was getting dizzy.
True. But they're like,
But whatever. It's a style. It wasn't over abused like the Elvis movie.
Nothing compares to Elvis.
Yeah, true.
That was fucking 50,000 cuts. And fucking 45 minutes before we turned that shit off.
I got where they were going with their core story. It's just, my God, give that to a good director, and it might be times 10 improvement. Honestly.
Oh, dude, I still.
It's just a strobe light.
This is still a great movie to me.
Strobe light.
Yeah.
The strobe light of cuts. But yeah, he's. I think he's overleaning. Like you could tell he's like a time period person, because that would probably look good in 2000, whatever the fuck, 2007, mid 2000s or something like that. Kinda.
Yeah.
It would kind of look good. Not great, but it kind of looked.
I went to theaters to see this one. I remember that.
I didn't see this in theaters. I saw this on fucking IFC.
Well, I used to like just go to the theater and see 3 or 4 movies on one ticket. Just be in the movie theater all day.
I've done that with shitty movies. So I wish I did it with good
movies.
I
was expecting it to be a fucking okay movie, like something just to pass the time by.
Yeah, it's an interesting, like, there's some good qualities about the movie. It's just, my God, like looking at this in like 2024, it's just like, my God, your cinematography is so bad. It's really bad. But there's core things that they're trying to tell in the story that are like not bad at all. So after this rewatch, my grade is a 7.8. Like a good movie. But my God, are there glaring fucking a mess in front of my face, things that happen. But the core story where they kind of throw out reality for the sake of telling the idea of, a quote unquote coming of age, existential journey, quote unquote, where you're learning life lessons from meeting one person to another. They even put it in chapters in this movie. Like they made it kind of blatant. I love that idea in storytelling. It's just your shit looks bad. It looks bad in a lot of places. Not every place, but a lot of places it looks bad. It is what it is. Anyone else? Please, go ahead. No. Hello.
What do you think? What do you think, Jesse?
There's parts of it that I like. I mean, I like it, and I at the same time I don't know, like, why. So, why is he doing all this? And I mean, like, I feel like when he goes out and does it, like, I didn't expect that ending, right? So I thought it was gonna be, like he's gonna grow into something that, which you could say that he did, but I don't know. Just personally, I don't really know. I feel something like, maybe because of the way it ended. I Yeah, I don't think it's a film for me. Basically, there's some good elements, but not in the total. Not for me.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. That's all I can say. I do think there's certain underneath the stylized or the style of the film, underneath that I think there's a good story just hiding, like sitting right there. And I do think they touch on it throughout the movie, which is, for me, like, as soon as I get a hint, I can see that and they kind of run with it. But it's not, it doesn't punch you in the face enough, if that makes sense. And that could be due to, like, us getting distracted by slow motion weird cuts, or more of a, like, them harking more on him saying no to his 16-year-old to have sex with her or whatever. Like, them giving more of a cinematic emphasis on that than, like, why he's even there in the first place, right? The relationship he had with the hippie couple, right? Catherine Keener and the dude with the mustache and the long hair. Like, that had, for me, would be more of the impact, but the movie seemed to emphasize him having a love interest, which I guess is kind of canning it in at that point.
A love interest with who?
Kristen Stewart, the singer.
But he didn't.
No, but, like, even though he says no,
Yeah.
right? They're still, like, focusing on that as, like, something important.
No. To
Good?
me, it was like him saying, I don't see happiness in relationships as in the experience under his mom and dad. So why would I want to get one?
Yeah, but that's no offense to people who have been around shit like that, but that's a small story compared to what I saw as
That it
more of
was
the
a small
core of
story.
it. What do you mean? God.
They didn't touch on it too long because to him it was not a consideration.
You're saying with the girl singer?
Yeah, it
No,
was
it's
so
because of
important.
her
It
age.
was
Like, he mentioned her age before anything, honestly.
nah. To if you listen to his sister talking about the abuse of the family, that
Yes.
tells me like he looked at a relationship as in like they're not living. He called his family the house of lies or something. Something about living lies.
Yeah, yes, there's something to that in regards to like, yes, I don't think even if she was of age for him, I don't think he would have taken the opportunity as far as the movie goes, right? There's a real life story here, but I'm saying as far as the movie goes, in the fictional sense of it, even if she
Right.
was even if she was of age, I don't think he would have went with her. I do believe
Right.
that. Good.
Because she was the way I look at it, because I'm like interpreting it in my own kind of way. Because I kind of lived by this movie in a way.
Okay.
It's like she was a stationary thing, and he wasn't looking for something stationary. Like that would have been a
Okay.
life decision. It would have locked him in place. The venture would be over.
Well, he's on a, like, from what I read from the movie, like he's on an existential journey to where
Right,
he will not stop until he finds whatever the fuck he's looking for.
right,
Right.
and
He ends
that's
up dying, but
right.
Mm.
But the way it, for me to interpret it, it was like they're saying if he got with her, he would have just the adventure would have been over. The existentialness would have ended.
yes, that's why I think he would have said no, even if she was of age. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that might have been in his, like, okay, imagine where this girl was, like, because you gotta, let's be honest, there's still political correctness, right? It's a movie that they're showing to people, right? So imagine if the girl was of age. I think
She's a trailer park girl.
well, I think him as he's dying, right, in Alaska in that fucking bus, he's
Yeah.
he'll probably be like like he lived he
Happiness.
lived the journey, right? And
Right.
thus maybe she would have popped up in his head as like what if type of thing. Just to play
Yeah.
like a little more of a role as like I guess like a normal person
Yeah.
of like what if I did this or did that.
It was either something he read or one of the songs saying like living in the country where good what was it was like you do good but don't expect good to happen to you, and then something about
Oh, he wasn't
just
saying
having a
this
mate
that
having a
dumb.
mate, and that's the perfect life, just living out in the country doing good, don't expect good to happen to you but having a mate.
But he would have gone away anyways. It's just if the girl, I think Hollywood style, if the girl was of age, he'd be thinking about her as he's dying. He'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
life
yeah.
I could have had."
I
type
think
of
he
thing.
was.
To me,
I think he
that's what the
was.
message was when
Okay.
it was. But
But they showed her at like
that's
prom or something,
the way I
right?
interpreted it when
Yeah.
when you wrote about like life being
Happiness
shared.
is to be shared. Yeah.
Yeah, my mind went to that relationship.
But they showed the girl like at prom, right?
Yep.
Didn't they? They showed Kristen Stewart at prom instead of like they would have showed us like actual like images of like what would have happened if we were together type of thing. If the girl wasn't 16 years old, right? I guess it shows he understands like, oh, you're a young girl and you know you're learning things and you have a crush or something, and you know I'm the face of that crush right now, but you have a whole life to live. I'm doing this other thing over here. Like I think they separated it completely instead of making it a part of his actual thing, his actual like love life. I don't think there's any sense of his actual love life.
No, not at all.
In this movie, right?
Yeah. not at all.
I think it would have been completely different if she was like the same age or something like that. I think it would have been a lot more of a like a what if, like
Yep.
like a regret almost even, rather than like a I bet she grows up and she
No,
marries some nice
I
guy
think he
thing.
did. I think he did regret it. That's why it at the end when it says happiness is share is only real when you share it.
That's with everyone though. That's with everyone. That's with the hippies. That's with the girl. That's probably with the sister.
But we're talking about the girl, specifically the girl.
Yeah, but they would not do. I don't think they would do that. I'm just
They
saying,
were
like,
absolutely doing that.
yes, there was like a
It-
sense of romantic buildup, but I don't think to that level to where they
I
go
mean,
there.
it's open to interpretation. I mean,
True,
also like because if you're gonna like he didn't get to share it that way, but in a sense, I guess we get to see the movie or we get to see his life, and that was shared, even though he didn't do it. I don't know. Like I think it could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, I would think it's more about just community with the people he met on his road to that Alaskan bus. Like all the people that he enjoyed on his way to that Alaskan bus.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean specifically romantic feelings for the 16-year-old. I think he was more about like, man, I wish I could have saw you like grow up and, you know, graduate and have fun and get a real boyfriend, all that shit. That's what it seemed like.
I don't. Nah, I think.
I don't think it was
it
like,
was-
I love you. We could have banged right there, but we didn't. I don't think it was that.
No, I don't think he loved her. I think he like
You
regretted.
were just saying that. Are you tripping? Are you trolling me? I thought you were just
No,
saying that.
listen, dude.
God.
What he's saying is he didn't love her until there was nothing left. Like he didn't realize what he passed up until he let it go.
I thought he was loving her like you're like a little sister because you're gonna go find an actual dude your age and enjoy like actual
No,
young love or
it's-
something.
It's like looking back and like realizing what you gave up.
Really? What was her with the proms? I thought she had a corset on and all that shit.
And it was a date with a different guy. And it was a
yes,
date
which
with
means
a
it's
different
like
guy.
looking at your little sister girl like, oh, you don't
No,
want
it's
you don't want
like
some 23-year-old like me. You want to
you-
go have prom and
no,
be around dudes
it's
your
like
age and grow up together.
no,
and all that
it's
shit.
no, it's like he let her go. She moved on. He's miserable.
I don't know about that. I think that was a different.
He's
I interpret that differently, personally. I don't know though.
Well, he was dying, so
he
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 could be
literally wrote when they did that, happiness is only real when you share it. Then shows
That's
her
a part of
on
the
a
sharing.
date with another guy.
That's a part of the sharing. Like I didn't just bang you because I knew how young you were.
No,
I let
he
you grow up on
means-
your own. Thus,
No,
like
that is
it's
not
like a
what he
shared thing
means.
that we get the. Come on.
No, he
I don't know about
means I could have been that guy, not that guy being there instead of me.
that. I'm gonna agree to disagree with you on that interpretation of what that was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with you, but it is what it is. Did you have a grade, Dubster?
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
I get this. To me is a great movie. I lived by it. It influenced me over the years I've been homeless.
Fair enough. I think the core story's not bad. Like I like the core story actually. I do like it, but after rewatching after a while, the actual film like camera work type shit threw me for a fucking loop. So I dropped my score just a little bit. 7.778.
This movie is why I got on a bus on a train and went to California. It's like after I saw this movie, maybe 3 or 4 months later, it's like
you regretted that trip too, right?
No.
Jesus.
California.
I knew then, and it was. No, it must have been years later because I didn't leave Kansas until 2011 or 10.
Okay.
But it was. I had $1,000 in my pocket. And was like, you know what? I want to see California before it falls off the map.
All right. Was that political
I
or
was serious.
natural disaster? Like an earthquake's gonna like separate the rocks, and then California floats off into the fucking
A
Pacific.
little bit of both at the time.
Fair enough.
It's like I need to see this before I'll never be able to see California. And I literally remember saying that.
Fair enough. I do. Fuck. It feels like movies had more. Like I saw like an old fogey asshole motherfucker, but like get off my lawn, old man type shit. But it feels like art had more of an impact earlier on, like years earlier on than where we're at now. It feels like art just is nothing for people, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, today.
It is what it is. I'm not trying to be the old man about it, but it seems like that. So hopefully someone gets inspired by something. I'll take it.
Does this count as old or in this new age?
2007. This counts as old.
Yeah.
Just being honest with you. Like
Okay.
as far
So
as
it fits in
we have
your
seen-
realm of still counting as art.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
100%. What I'm saying is like, my God, the Matrix movies. Like, there's a whole swath of movies that feel like they're out of date now compared to like because of what we see today, and we see some dog shit. We saw Aaron Eckhart actually making like a brick walls and shit. It's freaking me out. It is what it is. All right, there's our review for Into the Wild.